make history at Bellator 200. It's the return of MVP Michael Venom Page. Puts his 12-0 record on the line against David Caveman Rickels, moving on up and looking for his 4th straight win.
Now ready to make his way to the cage, David, the Caveman Rickels.
For a moment, I thought it was going to be the Nature Boy Ric Flair, Big John, but look at David Caveman Rickels, one of the most entertaining entrances in all of MMA. And is that a snake that he has in his hand?
He has a snake. I hope it's not real. David Rickels has come out with some of the greatest entrances you have ever seen. Dinosaurs, the Flintstone Mobile in a casket.
Oh, wow. He just spit the head off that snake. Oh, Petto wasn't watching. From the Rolling Stones age, the Caveman, David Rickels. The essence of entertainment, and it doesn't end once that bell goes. This guy always comes to throw down, Big John.
He does. He's a fighter at heart. He is so tough. He is so good at when he's coming forward at just creating a pressure and pace that guys cannot stay with. He is tough. And at 170 pounds, I believe he's a better fighter than he is at 155.
Rickels told us that he feels like he is back in his stride after his last fight with Adam Piccolotti. He says a lot of it comes from just how comfortable he is in the cage at this point, and yeah, he should be comfortable. He's been in the Bellator MMA cage more than anyone else.
He has. He's got a 13-4 record in Bellator, man. This guy is good, and he's good everywhere. His stand-up is good, his ground is good, and man, his wrestling defense is outstanding.
Set now to make his way to the cage, MVP Michael Venom Page.
Another man known for his showmanship. The human highlight reel, Michael Venom Page. It's been a minute since we saw him in Bellator. He's had to contend with injuries. He took a professional boxing fight in which he was successful, but man, you talk about a guy who is all about precision, timing, and incredible technique.
And that starts from you starting training when you're 3 years old with your dad, and he has you actually competing when you're 5. Michael Venom Page has been a world champion in martial arts since he was 12 years of age. He can fight, he can strike, he is dynamic. There are so many elements that he does better than anybody I've ever seen. He is the explosion king.
Speaking of highlights,
look just that missed kick right there. Look at the kick to the body. You can see how it hurts the fighter. Cyborg is hurt. Watch that knee, switches the knee. That is the loudest shot I have ever heard in an MMA ring ever.
Michael Page not only broke Cyborg Santos' skull, he broke the internet. It was the 2016 Knockout of the Year, and he returns to the Bellator MMA cage here in 2018 at Bellator 200. Made his pro MMA debut in February of 2012. Began training and competing in kickboxing at 5 years old. And you know, those video games, this guy could probably be a character in the Fortnite or Street Fighter or Mortal Kombat. I'm sure he's watched those and played those games a lot.
I'm sure he's the model for those.
Chance of MVP cascading down from this electric crowd at SSE Arena, Wembley in London. Let's go to the tail of the tape for this welterweight match, our co-main event.
Look at those records, 12-0, 19-4. That's telling you both of these guys are outstanding fighters.
Here's Michael C. Williams.
Bellator MMA from SSE Arena in Wembley now. Feature tonight's Bellator 200 co-main event. 3 5-minute rounds in the welterweight division. And now on Paramount Network and 5 Spike here in the UK, we introduce the blue corner first. At 6 foot, weighing in 170.5 pounds, the former Bellator World Title challenger tonight stands with 19 professional victories, 4 defeats. Fighting out of Derby, Kansas, USA, presenting David, the Caveman Rickels. Across the cage, his adversary fighting out of the red corner at 6'3", weighing in 170.4 pounds. Returning tonight to the Bellator cage, he enters undefeated with 12 victories, no defeats. Fighting out of London, England, introducing MVP Michael Venom Page. In charge of the action, your referee, Rob Hines.
David. Michael. All right, gentlemen. 3 rounds under the unified rules of mixed martial arts. Any questions, David? Any questions, Michael? Touch gloves if you want. Back up, we'll get it going.
London shoot fighters Michael Venom Page. JMTK's David Rickels. See, this is Fortnite. I told you, look what's happening. Bellator won. And the histrionics continue. Page's 8-fight Bellator winning streak tied for 3rd longest in company history behind AJ McKee's 11, Ben Askren's 9, and the mind games, Big John, already going on here. Lots of feinting.
You have a good movement by Rickels. He's not going backwards, he's going lateral. And that's what you have to do with MVP. You cannot sit there and go backwards. MVP, the only guy that you can match up in MMA with him is Stephen Wonderboy Thompson, because they fight very similar like.
Page's last fight in Bellator, November 2016 at Bellator 165, split decision win over Fernando Gonzalez.
That was a fight when you had Fernando Gonzalez thinking that someone like Fernando is going to come after MVP. He decided to sit back, try to be the counter striker, and those two styles just didn't work out. It was a boring fight that MVP ended up winning.
There's the lightning quick jab from Michael Venom Page.
But you notice where Rickels is starting to put Page.
Oh, Rickels gets tagged again with that jab.
Again, look at the distance and look where he's starting to put Page. That is what Rickels can do. He's that kind of fighter. He's not going to just give
up. Wow! Right uppercut, so precise. As precise as an atomic clock is Michael Venom Page.
And when you're looking at this, it's not so much the speed, it's the timing and his ability to change the distance when he wants.
Yeah, Page's timing makes a metronome envious. David Rickels standing in front of him and gets tagged with a three-punch combination by Michael Venom Page. There's another right hand that lands.
And again, look at the accuracy of what's occurring with Michael Venom Page here, Morrow.
Wow.
Those are straight shots right where they're supposed to be.
How do you prepare for someone like Michael Venom Page?
You know what?
Serious question.
It is a serious question, especially if you're David, because you can't find people that match what he does. There's very few people out there that do, and so it's so difficult to get prepared to fight MVP.
Of course, Anderson Silva did meet Chris Weidman, and at times the histrionics can have a way of catching up to you, but not so far for Michael Venom Page, 12-0, including 8 wins in Bellator.
You know, the whole thing with Anderson Silva, Anderson was more of a Muay Thai style fighter.
Wow,
spinning
heel kick by Page that Rickels is saying no, 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 which usually means okay, yes. All right, we are watching a human video game in the form of Michael Venom Page.
You are, and look, see, notice again, notice the control of the distance. Rickels is doing things right, and he's coming after him, and he's throwing good offensive techniques, and they're just missing by inches. And that's what Michael Venom Page can do to you, and he can frustrate you.
Okay. Michael Venom Page, all about putting on a show, wants to entertain, fell in love with salsa dancing, capoeira, all about body movement, and it is beginning to fluster, discombobulate David Rickels, and that I'm sure is part of Michael Page's plan.
It always is. You want to get in your opponent's head. You want to make them guess. You want to make them feel confused, because that's going to lead to you being victorious.
One of those shots by Page has already forced caused a leaky fall. Rickels gets tagged by the right hand. Another right uppercut. Rickels back on his feet.
He's on his feet, but he is hurt. And this is where you look at Michael Venom Page, you go, all right, you're just different, because he just sits there and waits. He lets the guy get up, doesn't attack him, doesn't go after him. It's like, I want to play with you, and that's scary.
He is toying with David Rickels like a predator with his prey, and now even talking to David Rickels. But the caveman, a Bellator staple, he will stay in the fight as long as he can, but man, this is unbelievable.
Well, there was a lot of talk by Dave Rickels. He was going to take his heart.
Well,
and you know, those things that sometimes they come back to bite you. I like the fact that Dave said, I'm not afraid of you, but you got to give respect where it's due.
Another 1-2 combination that scores. It is Michael Venom Page's world in the first round, and we are all just visitors. Wow!
Look at this action from MVP. Look at those 2 shots straight. Boom, boom. Both of them landing it, and that's what diminishes a fighter. Straight shot again, just rattles his cage. And look at the movement, the lateral movement. Here comes that spinning heel kick. It does touch him, it doesn't hurt him, but it frustrates him and makes him upset with himself that it happened. Good right hand straight, put him down, hurt him, and then watch, he didn't even go after him after that. I have a fighter dancing in the break between rounds.
And the crowd at SSC Arena Wembley, Michael Page has them in the palm of his hands. And he's about to try to give more hands to David Caveman Rickels here as we begin round 2. How does David Rickels even begin to try to solve this?
It's so difficult, and it's so frustrating for David Rickels, because he's doing the things right. It's just that he hasn't dealt with someone that's as good at controlling that distance and understanding when to explode the top.
Oh, wow, lead right hand that clocks David Rickels. And that just, Rickels' face exploded much, and the referee, it's over, much like the knee to Cyborg.
He's giving up.
He's giving up.
I don't know what he's doing. He's giving up.
Referee, he's giving up. It's over. delivering the pain to David, the caveman Rickels. Michael Venom Page may very well be the MVP, and now, uh-oh, the gauntlet. Thanos, Michael Page has the Infinity Stones. He is turning all of his opponents to dust. He didn't have to snap his fingers. He just had to snap off the power, John McCarthy.
He didn't need that gauntlet, that's for sure. Watch this shot. Watch what he does here. Look at the timing. Boom! It's the timing that makes him so dangerous. His ability to see and to respond. As David Rickels is coming in, he makes that counter. Big right hand, and you see right here is where David Rickels says, I've had enough. And when you can get a fighter, as experienced as Dave Rickels, I've had enough, that's something.
It's incredible. Like you said, if you get the caveman David Rickels to capitulate like that, you are something special, my friend.
You are. You know, you see this out of Vasily Lomachenko. You see guys quitting because they cannot figure out what he's doing. Same thing with MVP.
Michael Venom Page, known as MVP. And let's hope we continue to see him on a more regular basis in the Bellator MMA cage, because he is definitely something to behold. The evolution of mixed martial arts. What a performance by MVP. So MVP now with 7 stoppage victories in Bellator welterweight competition is now tied for first with former Bellator welterweight champion Douglas Lima. He has a 9-fight Bellator winning streak. That's the second longest winning streak behind A.J. McKee's 11 consecutive wins. Let's go to Michael C. Williams.
Ladies and gentlemen, inside the Bellator cage, the verbal submission comes at 43 seconds into round number 2. The winner by TKO, MVP Michael Venom Page.
A maestro at work. Let's go to Big John McCarthy.
Keep that thing away from me. You are so explosive, you cover distance so fast, and you frustrate guys to no degree of frustration. You just made a guy who is a complete fighter, a tough guy, say, I cannot stay in here with this man. How are you feeling?
London! The one and only MVP is back! Sorry guys, I would like to just dedicate this fight to Helena Ramsey. I know a lot of people heard about the Florida shooting. My little cousin unfortunately died out there and got hit with a bullet, so I just want to dedicate this win to her. I love you, I love the Ramsey family, love everyone. And I've got an amazing team. The London Shoot Fighters, I'm saying to anybody now, any kind of sparring you want, come to London Shoot. We're always ready.
You put on an incredible display tonight. That is the best performance even out of everything that I've ever done inside this cage with you. You look more in control in this fight than I've ever seen you.
You know what? This is the sharpest I felt. Seriously, I went through a hellish training camp back to back to back because I was training for a fight that never happened. And you know, 18 months later, I'm here in the best crowd in the world, man. In front of the best crowd. You guys are support me to the end. London, I love you.
How tough was it to come in front of your crowd, your fan base? Did you feel extra pressure here tonight because of it?
No, these guys give me energy. I can never feel pressure in front of you guys. You guys give me energy. These lights, Bellator, this cage, this is my home. Are you crazy? I'll never feel pressure.
Then tell me, what do you want next for Michael Venom Page?
just let me click my fingers. I'm taking over everybody. Everybody.
Ladies and gentlemen, your winner, Michael Venom Page.
I think Thanos should be afraid of Michael Venom Page. Virtuoso performance. Beautiful and brutal ballet of violence courtesy of MVP, and boy does he know how to work a crowd. The prototype of what you want a mixed martial artist to be in the 21st century.
You know, Mauro, we have watched a progression. That was absolutely the toughest opponent he's ever faced, and he dominated him better than any opponent he's ever had.
And it's incredible how calm and cool, meticulous he is, and how violent and vicious he is, and yet the minute he gets out of the cage, the smile envelops his face, lights up the building. One of the most congenial athletes you will come across.
He's a martial artist. That's the whole thing. He's not just he's a martial artist, and he puts on a display and then turns it down.
Bellator 200 delivering a plethora of